Hi all of you, my name is Darshan Modi and my student ID is 240971112 and the unit is Contemporary Issue in the Information Technology. Now I am started with introduction. So information technology plays an important role in the modern world as far as the surge of COVID-19 was concerned. Digital literacy has somehow improved a lot. As stated by Ziyong, digitalization has played an important role in during the time of COVID-19 and it's enabled the sick as well as the people living at home to stay updated with time. However, several contemporary issues is worth talk less about. One of the major examples among many other can be the lack of vital health information to the indigenous communities that suffered a lot during in the pandemic. That what's affecting in the world was somewhere or the other. Now, needs of digital literacy is there is a growing awareness of the importance of teaching children and adults how to use digital tools effectively. Knowledgeable application of technology is now essential for success in many areas of modern life, from personal connection and the leisure to academics and careers. The capacity to use digital technologies properly, effectively, and ethically is an essential part of well-rounded education in the digital age. As technology becomes increasingly integrated into daily life, the necessity to develop digital literacy skills are becoming increasingly apparent. The importance of humans being at ease with digital technologies is demonstrated in the five areas listed below. Digital literacy in marginalized communities. The same way that many people are excluded from mainstream culture, many people are also excluded from certain areas of the internet. The Rising Voices initiative of Global Voices, an international and multilingual network of bloggers, journalists, translators, scholars, and human rights activities work to increase the digital participation of underrepresented and marginalized groups. So the internet could be utilized to assist indigenous people with initiatives such as the reveal of their native language by providing access to resources, training, and mentorship. Types of digital literacy skills. So a person's ability to grab digital content in a range of contexts, as well as their capability to analyze and generate digital content on their own, is referred to as their digital literacy. This word was coined in the 1990s. We refer to a topic as digital literacy when we discuss themes such as data literacy, information literacy, visual literacy, media literacy, and also associated ability for analyzing social and ethical challenges presented by the digital environment. The definition of digital literacy incorporates each and every one of these components in overall meaning. So some examples of initiatives in the field. A person who is data literate is one who is confident in their ability to discover, analyze, and communicate information gathered from many sources. Critical thinking encompasses the processes of analyzing, interpreting, and making decisions based on data, as well as the skills necessary to express the data's relevance and worth. Student success in school and in future employment in sectors such as research, scholarship, education, translation work, and more requires them to be able to interpret and deal with data. Employers increasingly seek out fresh graduates with transfer skills such as data acquisition management and analysis and utilization. One of the most important aspects of the data literacy is understanding how one's own and other people's actions are influenced by what they learn. Examples of institutional initiatives in the field. So now The open data movement seeks to address this issue by making data publicly available in the hopes that this would lead to greater governance transparency and increased community participation. To present, most open data resources users have some prior expertise in civic technology and bring their own bases and viewpoints of the table. The vast majority of people still don't have the ability to take part in data-driven decision making because they lack the necessary knowledge, resources, and tools. Training pupils in both in becoming increasingly common as educators see the benefits of having students look at the problem from several perspectives to combat these issues. The open data movement is pushing for more open access to government data in the hopes of fostering greater transparency and participation from the general public. Motivation for choosing the topic of COVID-19: the need to push digital literacy in indigenous communities. So digital literacy must be improved in the indigenous communities that lack proper IT infrastructure. One of the basic problems that a community faces due to the lack of IT infrastructure is that it receives no information about the current health condition of the country as was seen during the time of COVID-19. As stated by Roy, more than 80% of the population of the indigenous communities did not receive any information about the current condition of their country. They were affected but had no scope to deal with it. So technology was invented to reduce information barriers, and the need to boost digital literacy in the indigenous community is a must. Now, the importance of boosting digital literacy of COVID-19 in indigenous community for our society. During the time of the pandemic, the indigenous community was not literate enough about the signs and symptoms of coronavirus, as per the view of Maxson, which result in increased the chances of spreading the virus widely. Moreover, the indigenous community is suffering from a lack of medical and healthcare facilities, which made it even more difficult for them to cope with the pandemic situation. So, in order to make the indigenous community more aware to the signs and symptoms of the virus, it is important to provide them with digital literacy about COVID-19. It will make the people of the indigenous community seek their solution to the pandemic. Now, multilateral efforts for digital literacy. The World Economic Forum recognized digital literacy as an essential 21st century skill. Alongside traditional literacy and numeracy, every human being on the planet now needs advanced digital literacy skills for basic survival in the workplace, school, and community. Over 19% of European professional employment necessitates some knowledge with computers and the internet. This is especially true in light of the current COVID-19 outbreak, which highlights the emergency with which countries must embrace digital technology and acquire the necessary skill sets. Now existing frameworks. The goal of increasing student and educators' digital fluency are laid out in details in the digital literacy framework. So the library developed the framework and will be responsible for carrying out the strategies and actions specified in its collaboration with the university's Center for Learning and Teaching, Graduate Research School, Careers and Employability Services, and the eight schools. The framework reflects the curriculum design strategy and the issue courses learning outcome examples, both of which stress and relevance of digital literacy in all courses. All three of these initiatives are in harmony with one another. Bridging the information gap. There is a gap between those who are informed and those who are not, between those who have access to smartphones and those who do not, between those who can do their banking online and those who still have to wait in line, between those who can apply for government benefits online and those who are unaware that this option exists. and so on. Living in our own little information bubbles, we might easily forget that there will always be those who have problems acquiring access to the technology they are supposed to utilize. Technical communication is one method for ensuring that technology doesn't add unnecessary complexity to people's lives. Globalization of information services. So, only a few of events this century can compare to the magnitude of globalization. Globalization has led to a dramatic increase in the frequency and intensity of interaction between individuals, communities, nations, and institutes on every conceivable scale. With the current climate and the futures uncertainly, resources are dividing quickly and competition is high. With the development of technology and the emergence of network societies, information has become an increasing important commodity in contemporary society. Computer and other information technologies are becoming increasingly ingrained in many fields of human life. In today's world, it's reasonable to say that most people need some sort of technological aid to get by. As a result, in today's technological age, these systems are vital and one place where we see their effects in education. This study set out the dynamicity in implementation of information systems in educational setting by elucidating its rudimentary framework in the wider context of globalization with regard to educational and business process actors. Now, conclusion. The most major movement of the 20th century was the ability to produce, operate, preserve, communicate, and link digitalized information. Around the world, this phenomenon is common in all walks of life. There are several ethical, social, and economical challenges that have arisen as a result of ongoing growth of information technology and services. Government representatives, academics, and others are debating these issues. Is the current problem that multimedia and information systems are suffering in the modern day are examined in this section. Therefore, in this section, it has nicely presented all the parts, indigenous communities, and contemporary issues in information technology.